session 2. It is just about few seconds past 9:30 Eastern, and a warm welcome to all of you. Uh, Good evening to all who are joining from the eastern side and morning from the western side. Okay, as far as the price action is concerned, I think we were right in figuring out a corrective decline early today, the Tokyo Sydney overlap, and we've also seen that corrective drop coming right across the 60 mark, the Euro USD. So I think it's better to initiate some long positions. Already we did that in the last session, and possibly the markets are looking poised for a push above 1.0752 in the near term. Now the only question is whether it's going to go directly to 750, or it's going to complete this five wave rally just above the 500 mark and then produce a corrective decline. That remains to be seen. All right, so going forward, Euro USD has confirmed and reconfirmed that it has not only formed a strong base at 1.0177, but it has also uh, completed an impulse wave higher followed by a corrective wave lower. So we've got a minute wave 1, minute wave 2, and wave 3 is kind of progressing. And if it is progressing, it's an extension already, and extensions are quite fierce on the north side. So believe it or not, the euro bulls are firmly in control, not as much as they are in pound, but still they are in control, and till the time prices stay above 1.0200, I think we are good to remain on the long side. All right, so for those who are joining fresh, you might want to initiate some partial positions, and if you want to wait further, then I think then wait until the next week, because it could go up and expect it to come down in a corrective wave. I still fancy that this structure, so let me give you the path. That three wave down followed by three wave up, and maybe three wave from here or from higher levels. This structure looks very much possible to me. That could be a WXY, or a combination WXY, or a running flat, either one of them. All right, so if you are not inclined to buy at this price, I think we should stay patient, stay aside for a while, step aside for a while, and we should be fine to buy around 350 or maybe close to 400 next week, early next week or by the end of the next week. All right, okay, the dollar index. It's not going to take much time to discuss about the dollar index. The wave charts are already labeled, and it won't be a big surprise to me, or it should not be to you as well, because by all by all means, a corrective wave could be on the way back towards 108.40.50, and if not, it would drop towards 105.60 and then move forward. All right, but I think it's better to add some positions if you're not having any of them, and if you're already having partial shorts, then it's better to wait for some pullback and then add, rather than adding all at one price. In a nutshell, dollar index remains a good candidate to sell on rallies, and the proposed stop loss goes towards 109.85, Ideally, it should be around 110.30 going forward. I mean, that is the 13th of January high, which is a formidable resistance now. And in fact, it's a good resistance above 109.85. 109.85 itself is a formidable resistance now. So if you allow me to try and forecast or project where the next entry could be, it could be somewhere around 108.47. That's the 61.8%. So let's mark that area. Maybe going forward, we'd be focused on adding positions here. All right. So whether it's dropping from here, that's a different story. But a pullback, certainly, that would be our area of interest to add further short positions. All right. Partial shorts are already on, but we're more inclined to add further around the 108.57 with a stop around 110.30. Okay. All right. There is some action going on in gold. I think gold is still looking to carve a lower high possibly, or if the third wave is extending, that is also looking possible now. But we need to see price action confirmation, which is unfortunately not the case right now. Prices need to dip lower, and it, it needs to break below that handle 2905 and possibly 2875 as well. Once that happens, we've got more serious confirmation about gold pushing lower, all right, or dragging lower from here. Now, what could be the alternate scenario? Let's be prepared for that. I mean, we've been recommending shorts already, but that's on a slightly aggressive side. You can place your stop loss around 29.54, just above that 29.54 mark. So going forward, if that is a wave for consolidation, all right, where you have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and wave 4 shifts over here as a consolidation, then wave 5 would go above that 54.5 mark to complete the pattern. And that is where we might get stopped out for a while, but then it would be yet another opportunity for us to go short. Again, that would be aggressive. In fact, the best option is gold might have topped. If it has topped, then that trend line is seriously our resistance line going forward, and it's 29449. That prices should hold, or that resistance should hold, uh, with a short-term target of around 29 and 2860. We need to see a break below the beginning of the diagonal, and that is exactly around 2865. All right. So it's good to remain short for now, but there's no reason why we should go and buy it. It's just a noise going outside. The external factors are playing around, and they always do. But what the charts are telling us a story is, had we gone long earlier for that C wave rally to complete minute wave B, it was okay. But right now, minute wave B is either complete or either topped out, or it's just near about to get topped out. All right, so that's the story going forward. And the next one is GBP USD. And what we are seeing on the chart right now in pound is again uh, a double confirmation of what we have been discussing earlier. You see that five wave impulse rally, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we've got an ABC corrective decline. So that's a neat little wave 1 and wave 2 in place, and what we're seeing right now is a third wave already progressing. Furthermore, that could be a wave 1 of 3, wave 2 of 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that could be the third wave extension as well. Let me find out if it is complete or not. Yes, sir. I think it's complete or near to completion. So 1.2745 uh, would be the next target, next short-term target, and 2745 is pretty close to 27. It's just about 100 points lower for the projected target around 2800. So you never know if it can really go ahead and push through the 27 or 20 27 85 2800 mark. But tell you what, be prepared for a corrective decline any moment. And if that happens, for example, I'm seeing a five wave rally complete here. That's what the charts are indicating. Sorry, it's not me who's seeing it. But if that five wave rally is complete, then there would be a decline soon. Maybe from the mid 2700 levels, where we should be seeing a decline soon as a wave 2. All right. And if once that decline is, I mean, watch that mark that price actually is 24, so 2500. And so 2500 could be the next stop where we could re-enter on the long side with a stop around 1.2250. All right. So those are the wave structures. But look at the pound story. It is quite firmly placed in the third of third wave, and it looks like bulls are more in control, firmly in control than what we see happening in the euro. All right. The next two stories are beautifully carved. One is the Bitcoin, the other one is Solana. I cannot stress any further, and it is so exciting to see what I'm seeing right now. You see that red line 99668. It was just tested that mark, and then a pullback is on its way. So, believe it or not, that particular wave boundary is complete now, and we can remove this Fibonacci extension. The new boundary that we have in picture is in place right there. All right. You have the new wave already there, and the resistance has been now taken out, and we are now looking for a corrective decline. The range remains around the same 95, it's just about 200 points higher. Instead of 95 500, it's 95 700 now, and the 38.2% is, instead of 9700, it's 97 200 300. I tell you what, if you are already holding long positions since the 95,000 mark, it's okay. You can continue holding with a positional view. But if you are taking partial profits, there's no need to worry or panic. Ideally, if not today, we should have a corrective decline back towards 95, 96, 900, 97,000 mark. Please have your limit orders in place. I mean, Bitcoins, cryptos are 24/7 market. It could come during the weekend. It could come early next week. But that would be an excellent place to initiate long position, sorry. All right, and the stop loss can be now placed just below that 93,000 mark as well. So what are the next targets, sir? I think the next targets are towards the next resistance of 1089. So we've got those 107 being taken out and 109 almost being taken out. That's moving towards all-time highs. All right, and that's just the beginning of the third wave. I think if we do an Elliott extension, let's do a hypothetical Elliott extension. If we bring it back to 61.8%, and then another one, it's almost 109, 110. So maybe another five wave. But you know, when cryptos move, they really surpass all Fibonacci extensions. So 110 definitely looks to me on cards from 95,000 mark, 95, 96,000 mark. All right, sir. So that's the story for Bitcoin. Solana, again, the corrective wave is on. It's almost completed the first wave, so I think we can remove that now. And what it's doing right now is we've got a new boundary in place, possibly. And if that is correctly done, I think we can do away with the trend line as well, or we'll have to just change the angle. That's a new low, all right. But I think we've got the first wave in place, or the third wave is extending, so it's not going to drop much lower. Maybe 173 should be good to buy again, with a stop around one just below that 160 mark is okay. 155 would be fine, and the next upside target would be 192, and that's a good one actually. It's converging with the Fibonacci retracement as well. So when you see such convergence, it is always good uh, to rely on that, and rely in the sense that around 2001 there would be a meaningful pullback as well. But I think 212 from 173 with a stop around 160 is going to be a good one for us. All right. So that is Bitcoin, Solana. I think we can have a look at Ethereum as well, because if most of the coins are doing what they are, then Ethereum should not be far away. I think that was a previous stop loss we recommended around 2100, sorry. What we are seeing right now is also a new trend up higher. So Ethereum has gone sideways, but it's actually picked up also. So let's find out a trade to enter in Ethereum as well. I believe we should wait because that entire structure looks sideways, and we need to see a corrective decline back towards at least 2700. It could also test 2500, so I think it's better to wait for Ethereum. I thought that's an impulse complete already. Let me relook at that. No, it's not an impulse. It looks like a three-wave rally, so corrective maybe. Let's wait for a while towards 2500. We'll relook into this chart possibly early next week or during the weekend. Okay, Ripple is also doing the same thing as Ethereum. The entire structure looks a good sideways. So I think they are good with Bitcoin and Solana. They're the high potential, high confidence trade setups, both of them. All right. So all these six stories that we have discussed, we've got Euro USD firmly on the long side, dollar index firmly on the short side, pound firmly on the long side, gold a bit tentative, a bit aggressive on the short side, and long Bitcoin, long Solana. So those are the stories as we move into the weekend. I think gold has just tested 38, and that would be a good price, a good resistance up there. The only thing we need to see, but it's not an impulse. That's the only thing of a bit concern. They're all overlapping waves. So when the waves are really overlapping, it's either wave one and flat wave two. That could be the possibility. That could be the only possibility if the third wave is underway. I would bring up the resistance or retracement here. And that's a 50%. Maybe it can go to a 60% as well. But it's just around the resistance right now. So watch out for a short-term decline. If we do that extension again, 2875 looks to be on cards. All right. All right, we've done it twice actually, so we'll have to remove one. All right, that looks good. Looking at this hourly chart from this angle, it looks to me like wave 1 and wave 2 and possibly wave 1 and another wave 2. So series of waves 1s and 2s are being carved out on the south side, which looks extremely good for bears to come back in control. 38 would be a good price for bears to come back in control. All right, now as we said, we would relook at the Dow. That's what we are wanting to do right now. Look at that price action. We wanted to see that happen, and possibly that's a 5-wave corrective decline already. So what we can see now is a corrective wave or corrective rally going forward, and I think the triangle is looking complete here. If it's a bearish triangle, that was not a new high. I'm going to connect the A and C, and A, B, C, D, and those are the C's and D's. So that was wave 2 triangle. I think we are just cutting loose for the third wave. So remember, we were short from 44,000 mark earlier with a stop around 45, mid 45,000. That trade still remains active for Dow Jones, but those, I'm sure most of them have not taken that trade. So we will wait for to issue a new one. All right, we'll wait for to issue a new one there, and the projected or proposed entry point is somewhere here, 44,291. So back towards 44,291. I think we'd be good to sell again there, and that would be wave 2 of, I think the wave 2 of 3 actually, because we've got wave 1. Let me just try and print this in hourly chart, correct? So could be minute wave 1 and A, B, C, D, E, minute wave 2. and the minute wave 3, 4 and 5 into play already. So I would go and sell aggressively with a stop around 40, just above that mark, 40, 45. So mid 45,000 is good enough. All right, that's a couple of thousand points. I think we can take a trade here. So partial shorts right now around 43,800. All right, partial shorts. Let me type in here. Partial sell around 43,800. We already have stop at 45,500. And let's keep the target open, sir. The targets are towards 37,000, so it's going to be a long way lower. All right. So let's start with the first indice. We've been waiting for this to happen quite a few days back, actually. So let's start with the first one, and then we'll follow up through the second SPX and Nasdaq over the next week. And I think we should be good to remain on the short side, sir. All right. So with that note, let's wrap up for this week's final session, session 2, New York. And once again, thank you for taking the time to tune in. And we'll be now back Tokyo, Sydney, uh, Eastern Standard. If you talk about Eastern Standard, it will be Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, and it will be around 5:30 uh, or 4 a.m. Monday morning on the eastern side of the world. All right. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and until the next one, as always, please do take care and God bless. Goodbye.